Welcome to day 7. Today's lesson is focused around kind of an unusual topic, which is when not to meditate. And today, instead of doing a guided meditation, we're going to practice some Peacefinder activities, and I'll explain what those are. So let's get started. When should we not meditate? It might sound kind of funny coming from a meditation instructor, and I just talked to you about when we should meditate, but there's actually a few times when meditation is not the best thing to do. So yesterday we talked about the body and the body's stress response. And there's going to be certain times where it's just not really appropriate to sit down and to do a formal meditation. And even if we had the time and we had the space to do that, we wouldn't get the full benefit of it because we've got too many things running through our body and we're too much into the stress response to be able to meditate. So instead of meditating during those specific times, and instead of using meditation as a band-aid or as an aspirin to just take care of all of that stress, it's important to find other techniques to use to calm our body down to get us out of that stress response. And I like to call those, as my teacher Sarah McLean called them, we call them Peacefinder exercises or activities. You may already be using Peacefinder exercises in your own life, and that's completely fine. They're definitely things that we kind of learn or tend to do on our own to help us when we start to feel stressed. But today I'll introduce a few more that you could potentially add to help you with stress in your life. So the first one is, if you notice that you're extremely stressed out, maybe you're in a meeting or maybe you're at your desk at work, maybe you're with your kids, and something happens and you just feel extremely stressed. One of the things you can do is just simply close your eyes. So close your eyes and sit for a few seconds. That will bring your awareness into the present moment, which can be extremely helpful. The second one is to sit and simply feel your breath go in and go out. That's one of the things we do when we start to practice meditation. You may have noticed a lot of the guided meditations I've done, that's the way I start, is having you focus on your breath going in and out of your body because it brings us into the present moment and it gets us mindful. The next one is to do a short 30-second body scan. So focus from the very top of your head and then notice how things feel as you move all the way down to the tips of your toes. You can also do that in reverse. Focus first on the tips of your toes and then all the way up to the top of your head. That's something you could do without anyone noticing you're doing it, even at a family gathering, during the holidays, or even something you could do at work without looking a little silly. The next one is to say positive affirmations. So this is something I have used for a really long time and it's helped me out quite a bit. So when I feel really stressed and I can feel my chest tensing up, my jaw getting tight, I will sit and silently say some affirmations to myself. So my personal affirmation that I like to say is, I am smart, I am kind, and I am happy. And I say those things over and over to myself. It helps calm me down and relax me so that I can move on, and it helps the tension and stress response go away. The next one is to simply smile. So smiling releases endorphins that helps us feel better, and it can help those around you feel better too. So who knows, somebody else might start smiling because they see you smiling. The next one is to excuse yourself. So if you are at a family gathering, somebody says something to upset you, or you're at work and a meeting and something happens, simply just ask to be excused for a few minutes, maybe go into the restroom, take a few breaths, and just take a second to gather yourself. Instead of sitting there and feeling that stress response and letting it get stronger and stronger, take that time to yourself, excuse yourself, and remove yourself from the situation. The next one is to compliment someone. So compliments are another thing that increases our endorphins. It makes us feel better about ourselves, and it gives somebody else a little joy too. So compliment somebody on their hair, their shoes, something they've said, just somebody's personality or the person in general can help. The next one is gratitude. So take a few seconds and just practice gratitude. Not just thinking about the things that you're grateful for, but why you're grateful for them. So let's say you burn Christmas dinner and you're super stressed and upset mad at yourself about burning Christmas dinner. Well, why not just be grateful that you have people coming over who care about you and love you, and be grateful that you have other things that you could possibly eat in your house, and be grateful that you have food so you're not going to starve to death. The final two, the first one is slow down. So when we do things in slow motion, like if I were to take the meditation timer, I would put my hand on it very slowly and think about how the weight of it feels as I pick it up. Think about what it looks like. Feel the buttons on it. And just very slowly start the meditation timer. Same thing if I was going to pick up one of my books here and read a book or write in my journal. It's something I can do very, very slowly. And when we start to slow down things, we become more mindful and more in the moment. So that's something you could practice, even if it's just walking across the house or across the office. That's something you can do very slowly and very mindfully without formally practicing meditation. And the final thing is one I want to do with you right now, and that is to pay attention to a sight. So we won't use the meditation timer for this one, but I do want you to practice this one with me. So we are going to pay attention to a sense, and today's sense is going to be the sense of sight. You could do this same exercise with sound, with feeling, anything like that, but today, or with a smell, but today we'll do it with sight. So for the next 20 seconds or so, I'm going to look around the room and notice all of the different things that I see, and notice the colors and simply be mindful of them. So go ahead and begin. So I notice my plant that's sitting here. It's really interesting, something I wouldn't have really thought about before, but there's quite a few branches coming off of the succulent, so I can look at those all individually. And I see even some bumps on it that I hadn't really noticed before. Look at the colors. Move my attention over to the candle, or I can look at the flame. I could sit for 30 seconds here and just look at the flame going in and out. Even notice the smell, although we'll stick with the sight. Look at the writing on the candle, which I never really noticed before, and the design. You can look at my painting and see the different colors in the painting. Use the frame of the painting. And for you at home, you can do something else in your room. You don't necessarily have to look intently at the video you're focusing on right now. The gist of it. Find something at home, take a few minutes, or take a few seconds, I should say. These are just short activities, and focus on the visual context that you see in the room and in the space around you. So I would love it if you would practice one of these exercises and then tag me on social media at Schmidt Meditation, Facebook or Instagram, and let me know how it goes. Perhaps you have another one that you like to practice. If you do, tell me about it. I'd love to hear about it. And we will see you again tomorrow. Thanks.